What's up, bodybuilding fans? Let's talk about the Orlando Pro from this past weekend. We had a very, very close show once again, and Hassan unfortunately falls short once again to Phil Clahar. Congrats to Phil Clahar. He gets the Olympia placing. He gets the Olympia qualification at 50 years old. And man, this guy is probably happy as hell. But Hassan, on the other hand, he's probably really disappointed. 2 shows in a row that he lost, and arguably should have had both of them in the bag as W's. But we're going to talk about what has happened with the scorecard because there was a tie, and I want to talk about the future of Phil and Hassan. Guys, don't forget, July 4th sale is here for oldschoolabs.com. If you guys want to check out one of or both of my products, go to oldschoolabs.com and use my code NICKBS to save for the July 4th sale. Today, tomorrow, up to 20% off. Check out Natty, check out Nitro 3D. You guys are going to absolutely love these 2 amazing products. And don't forget, there's a ton of other products you guys could check out as well. Thank you again for the support. So let's talk about Phil Clahar's really close win. It was as close as this. These guys tied, and somehow they did a tiebreaker, which I have no idea how the IFBB judges do this. The head judge, Bill, wrote on the scorecard that it was a tiebreaker, which I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they come to the winner when one guy wins the prejudging and the other guy wins the finals, and both of the guys had the same exact score. I have not seen this happen before in my time watching bodybuilding. So I really kind of want to figure out how they do this. It says tie broken by relative placing, which I don't know what that means. I really don't. I tried to look it up. I didn't ask anybody. It's July 4th weekend. I don't want to bother anybody, but I'm going to try to find out this week what it means so I at least know going forward. But let's talk about Phil Clahar's physique. I think Phil Clahar has looked way better in the past. The year that him, Iain, and Steve were top 3 at the Texas Pro, and Phil looked amazing there. I think he was being coached by Phil Viz, if I'm not mistaken. That was Phil Clahar's best look in a long time. That was the show he should have won, not this one. I think Hassan looked better, but we're going to talk about Hassan in a second. Phil is still a superb bodybuilder at 50. He's one of the best still. Is he going to do damage at the Olympia? Probably not. Is Iain Valliere going to do damage at the Olympia? Probably not. Is Hassan, if he makes it to the Olympia, going to do damage? Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to explain why in a second. But Phil wasn't that like razor sharp conditioned. He was full, he was big, he's tall, much taller than Hassan, that's for sure. He has better V-taper than Hassan, but that's really it. If we're looking at completeness and balance and muscularity and conditioning, Hassan all day. The only thing Hassan loses to against Phil is the midsection because Hassan is not the widest guy. He's shorter. He's kind of boxy. But do you lose a show because of that? 2 shows in a row? When his conditioning was really freaking good? I don't think so. I can't give it to the other guys. I'm sorry. Hassan now, I think he looked just as good, if not better, than the Toronto show. He definitely did not go backwards. He's getting better at posing. His conditioning is really good everywhere. His balance with muscularity is phenomenal. The guy has these fucking cannons for arms, huge chest. He's dense, he's thick, he's hard. His legs are freaking horse legs from behind, from the side, from the front. His back shots are good. Yes, the posing needs to get better, but he was definitely the better bodybuilder. And I like Phil a lot. I know Phil personally, Clahar, and I don't want to take anything away from him. I don't want to ruin his win or shit on his win. But I just think Hassan, again, gets the shitty end of a stick. And it sucks because he deserves to be in the Olympia. So I was saying earlier, why would Phil and Iain not do well at the Olympia? And why would Hassan do well at the Olympia? Because the criteria, if you ask my opinion, is different at the Olympia than it is at these shows. At the Olympia, they reward freak factors. They reward muscularity. They reward the big guys. The guys that are packing the most muscle, that have the balance, that have the symmetry. But Hassan is going to outsize a lot of people, outmass people on that stage. He has so much muscle everywhere, and he fits really well in that top 10. He fits up really well. He's going to match up really well with these guys because his conditioning is very good. His muscularity is crazy. He doesn't have a weak shot. He doesn't have a weakness. I think Hassan cracks the top 10 at Olympia, as long as he qualifies. I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. He for sure will make that top 10 if he makes it there. But he's having a real hard time qualifying. And that doesn't mean you won't do well at the Olympia. As I said earlier, the criteria that the judges use at the Olympia, I think, is vastly different than how they look at these shows, these small shows. It's very different. Go look at what they reward at the Olympia stage and go look at what wins these shows. It's never two of the same. It's never the same. Hassan, I know you're probably really discouraged right now. I'm sure you're probably really frustrated, but keep the head up. Try again. If you get knocked down a third time, okay, throw the towel in. Try again next year. But I really don't think they can deny you 3 times. That's just insane. And I don't know who's left. I can't even say that anymore because I didn't think Phil Clahar could beat you. But I'm not sure. I don't know what show's left. It's the 3rd in July. There's probably only a couple more USA shows to do. I think he's living in Canada right now. I guess Tampa, Texas. They're going to have Andrew and Hunter. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go for him. This is getting really tight now. He may very well have to go overseas to win a show now. There's another Spain show. There's a show in Italy. What else is there? I'm trying to remember the schedule at the top of my head. There's not that many shows. I think there's 7 shows left or 6 shows. He's got to get this qualification, though. And clearly he's not going off prep if he qualifies because this is getting down to the wire now. And it's unfortunate. It is. I think he looked really good working with Chad these last 2 shows. I don't want to say it was his best all-time look because that's hard to do. He looked really good with AJ, but that was a little different package. He had less muscle on him. He's much bigger now. Hassan, keep going. Keep going. You're going to get it. And I guarantee it'll be well worth it. If you get to the Olympia and you nail your shape there, you nail your conditioning there, you'll get rewarded for it. You'll get a top 10 spot. No doubt in my mind. I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to take advantage of the sale. July 3rd and 4th, 20% off, oldschoollabs.com.